everyone, welcome back. Today I am shooting a very different video than the one I had planned to shoot. I was going to do a video on how I gave my current life planner a facelift. I bought new covers, I bought the pens and the dry erase markers and magnetic bookmarks and the snap-in bookmarks, and Erin Condren knocked it out of the park. Everything's great, everything's wonderful. I love everything she does. And I'm trying to organize this video and put it together, but as I'm sure everyone else has seen the news about what happened in Orlando, the shooting, another terrorist attack, and I don't know, something in my heart was just it's cute, it's fun, it's fluffy, but I felt the need to talk about this. I have said many times on my channel that I teach in an incredibly diverse school system. White folk. I'm the minority in the school district I teach in. My children are a collection of colors. Every color on every skin tone known to man is in my classroom. Brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, white skin, tan skin, golden skin, olive skin, black skin, dark brown skin. Every color, every shade. Those are the babies that are in my classroom. I have taught in the duration of my career Christian children, Muslim children, Jehovah's Witness. I have taught Sunnis, Shiites, Kurds, Pakistanis, Yemenis, Afghanis, Iraqis, Iranians, Saudi Arabians. I've taught Somalians. I've taught Sudanese. I've taught Polish, Russian, Ukrainian, Bosnian. I've taught nationalities from all around the world. That's one of the things that I absolutely love about where I work. Yes, our buildings are old. Yes, my district is poor. But I work in an environment where I am needed. I work in an environment where I make a difference. I work in an environment that is very much like working for the United Nations. My classroom is a hodgepodge of cultures, foods, clothings, music, languages. It's amazing. And the thing that I love about teaching where I work is that my students don't know that they're supposed to hate people. And no, they're not supposed to hate people. Hate is not something we are born with. Hate is something that is taught. Someone has to take a child aside and teach this child to hate. I have a great story that I have to share. This happened probably 17 years ago. I was still a first grade teacher. I was still pretty new being a classroom teacher. I was teaching first grade, and it was a difficult year that year because that year I had a student named Wada, and Wada was Arabic. He was Yemeni, and Wada had never gone to school before. He had never gone to kindergarten or pre-K or any of that. So for the first 41 days of school, Wada screamed bloody murder and would try to escape the classroom and try to flee in terror because he didn't understand why Mama was leaving him with this stranger and all these children that he didn't know. 41 days, Wada cried. And then on the 42nd day of school, Wada stopped crying. I know this because on the 42nd day of first grade, that was the day Isad came into my classroom. Isad was from Bosnia, and Isa had never been to school before. And so Wada stopped crying just in time for Isad to come in and start crying. And Isad continued to cry for the next 9 days. I remember thinking, oh my God, they're just never going to stop crying. But they did. And so Wada, Isad, and another little boy in my room named Ali, who was Arabic also, but it was a different dialect. One thing with Arabic, Arabic covers many nationalities actually, many countries. And so within the different countries, there's different dialects, there's different languages. So I want to say that Ali was Pakistani. I think he was Pakistani. It's been a long, long time. But basically, Wada, Isad, and Ali, these three boys, knew exactly 3 American words. No, me, and bathroom. Those were the only words they spoke in English. And Isad spoke Bosnian, Wada spoke Yemeni, and I believe Ali spoke Pakistani. So they could not talk to each other. And yet these 3 boys, through play, through math, through soccer, became the 3 amigos in my classroom. They were constantly joined together. Whenever you saw one of them, you were guaranteed to see the other 2, even though they could not communicate with each other. They invented their own language, and it was beautiful to see. Absolutely beautiful to see. And as the school year went by, they did start to learn more and more English. One thing about first graders is they pick up a new language incredibly quickly. And so as the months went by, they did start speaking more and more to each other in English. But it was still very precious to watch these children interact with each other day in and day out. Even a few years ago in my classroom, I had children in my room whose homelands were actually at war with each other. And yet the kids in my room, they didn't care. They didn't know. It wasn't a big deal to them. All they knew is that they were friends. And it didn't matter that one is a Sunni or one is a Shiite or one is a Kurd. None of that matters in my classroom. And I won't lie, there have been a couple occasions where I've had a parent come in, and a parent has come in and said, you need to move my child's seat. I don't want him by that one, or something along those lines. And I always say, oh, okay, yes, sir, whatever you want. I'm always very polite to my parents, but I can't lie. I don't necessarily move the seats, because while I understand I can't change the hearts of adults, once you're 30 years old, once you're 40, 50 years old, the biases in your heart, it's going to take almost a miracle or an act of God to take that bias, that hate, or that disdain away from you. But the children, it's with the children that I realize here is where I can make the difference. I can teach these children that we're all the same. There is so much more that unites us than divides us. People are getting hung up on these little technicalities. This morning on the news, I had Fox News on for just a moment, and right away the commentators were talking about jihad and how Hillary Clinton refuses to even mention the words Islamic terrorist or Islamic extremist, and how can we fight? Nobody wins from hate. Nobody wins by fighting. If you're someone right now who is angry at what happened this morning, I'm not going to tell you to not be angry. Feel your pain. Feel your anger. But before you say something like, oh, we need to go and bomb the heck out of those people. Does that really undo what happened? Or when we go bomb people and we accidentally kill innocent victims as well as the terrorist, don't we make more terrorists? Don't we just prove to them why they should hate us in the first place? You know, casualties of war aren't always soldiers, aren't always extremists. The casualties of war are mothers, children, grandparents, people who have nothing to do with this. And, you know, their house gets bombed too. And, you know, this morning, this horrible act of violence that happened in Orlando, it's heartbreaking and it's unnecessary. And it's, I'm not even sure how to put it in words, and I don't know if I'm doing this justice, but nobody wins from hate. Look at Syria right now. You've got 3 groups in Syria who all hate each other and all want to win. Well, let's say one of them wins. Congratulations, you won. You've won a pile of rubble because you've destroyed your own beautiful paradise of a city. Syria was a gorgeous city, a gorgeous country. It's nothing left but bombed out shells of rubble. There's nothing left to win. And when this stuff happens, it breaks my heart because I believe we can teach love. I believe we can teach peace. I believe we can teach tolerance because there is so much that does unite us. You know, the parents of my Muslim children, the parents of my Bengali children, the parents of my Bosnian children, the parents of my, you know, when I had my Somalian children, all they want is to raise their children in an environment where they don't have to fear every day that today is the day their children die. All they really want is safety, home, education. They want what everybody wants, a safe environment to be. And I really hope that something, somehow, some way, that everyone can just let go of the hate because nobody wins. And I hope this message is making sense. I hope this message isn't offending anybody because that is not my intention. I'm not trying to defend the terrorists. I'm not trying to explain their behavior because God knows I don't agree with what they did. What they did was god-awful and it served no purpose other than death and destruction. But you can't blame everyone. You know, not all Muslims are terrorists. Most of them are just normal people like you and me. You know, the stereotypes, we've got to stop stereotyping. You know, not every black person is in a gang or a teenager wearing a hoodie is trying to get you. You know, not every white person is a racist. You know, peace, love. We need to focus on peace and love. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this video. I don't know what to expect in the comments. I really don't. I may even lose some subscribers from posting this. But I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking for my students because I don't want them to experience hate. I don't want them to live in a world where when they grow up, someone's going to tell them that they can't speak to so-and-so anymore because they're not one of us. They're not our kind. Forget kind. We are all people. You know, when you pray to God the Father, you're praying to a higher being. When Jewish people pray to Yahweh, Yahweh means Father. You know, when Muslim people pray to Allah, Allah means Father. We're all praying to God. So there's so much more that we share than what divides us. I'm going to stop right there because I know I'm rambling, and I'm not even going to ask you to give this video a thumbs up. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe because that's not what this video is about. This video was me speaking from the heart. And with that, peace out, love, and God bless everyone.